My first understanding of what architecture and what art was came from work that was done in stone many years ago and in a different time period. I do work that's kind of fun. It takes you out of the ordinary. It's starting to be very much removed from what, a lot of people's experiences are. I grew up in Tikal in Guatemala, which is a classic Maya city that had recently been reconstructed in the years prior to my birth. And I think that a lot of what I was influenced while I was living there is what brought me to do the work that I do. My newest piece, I'm commissioning it just for myself. And that's exciting, but at the same time, it's daunting. This is the piece that inspired the piece that I'm working on right now. I've gotten into this new mode of tying stone with iron, and that creates an interesting possibility to do something that's of an interesting scale. I've done about half a dozen public art projects in the Twin Cities or the greater metropolitan area. It's great because I can share my work with the community. I like the idea that I can make things that become sort of iconic of a neighborhood. There's one of the antler bases that I was working with, and I did this based off of a drawing that I made, a small-scale drawing. I'm proposing to make a larger version of that. I call it a guardian. It represents a guardian spirit. It's not obviously a specific creature that exists in nature. These three pieces are stone, cast iron, and forged steel. With stone, you have the material in front of you, and it's a matter of reducing it to the shape that you want. With casting iron, you're creating patterns, or you're carving in the mold material itself. There's more flexibility in terms of what you can do. While I was in graduate school in literature, I began taking some side courses in a vocational school for welding. And I talked my way into being a sculptor's assistant. And that was my introduction to carving in stone. What I wanted to start with is showing how I'm working on this cast iron mold. I use sand mold. It's one of the preferred ways of casting in iron because it withstands the heat. So I'm going to mix 200 pounds of sand with binder and catalyst. The other thing that I've found interesting about iron is that the machinability of it. It allows you to move from one material to the other, to make connections more readily. It makes you think a little bit differently about what you can do. And it's only until recently that I started really combining both the stone and the metal. I've never fully been comfortable doing work that seemed temporary, and this is something that you can't just crank it out. It's going to take some time to do. I just find making something out of tangible materials. It's like writing a story, but you're also making it. I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather be doing. And you know, even if it's cold out, I'd be out there in a snowstorm.
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.